Hi, welcome to the Power BI course. In this video, we're going to be looking at the introduction to Power BI architecture, Power BI components, and artificial intelligence. So, what is Power BI? Power BI is a data visualization tool that is used by organizations to analyze and visualize their data in a meaningful way. It allows users to connect to a wide range of data sources, transform this data, model, analyze and visualize it, and finally share it. Now we know what Power BI is. We will look at why firms choose Power BI. My top 5 reasons are 8. It is user friendly. 4. It delivers a cloud-based solution, which means you can deploy your solutions online. 3. It is owned by Microsoft. And Microsoft is an industry-leading AI firm. So you're sure to get the very best product experience. 2. It allows you connect to multiple data sources. Name the data source and I'm sure Power BI can connect to it. And the first on my list is it is easily integratable with other Microsoft products. We'll go into the Power BI architecture. And what is Power BI architecture? I would say they are frameworks that work together to provide a comprehensive end-to-end data analytics and visualization solution. The Power BI architecture are listed in the following order. The first is my Power BI desktop, and we can refer to Power BI desktop as the primary development tools. This is where bulk of the dashboard creation happens. Second is the Power BI service. Power BI service is a web-based platform that allows users to share, to collaborate, and also publish Power BI content. The third on my list is Power BI Mobile, and this is like the mobile application and the mobile application version of Power BI service. The first on my list is Power BI Gateway. Power BI Gateway enables data transfer between data sources on Power BI. And the last but not the least is My Data Sources. So Power BI allows you to connect to a variety of data sources. So users are able to connect to these data sources, retrieve this data, and analyze it to make meaningful insights and informed decisions. Now we know what Power BI architecture are and how they work. We are going to look into data sources and connectivity. Like I said earlier, you can connect to a wide array of data sources in using Power BI. So we are going to look at the various data sources or possible data sources you can connect to the Power BI. First, we have databases. So Power BI can connect to databases like Microsoft SQL Server, MySQL, Azure SQL database, and more. You can also connect to file systems like Excel files, CSV, and other file formats like JSON and text file. You can also connect to cloud services like Azure SQL database, Google Analytics, SharePoint Online. You can connect to online services like OneDrive, Power Platform services like Power Apps, Power Automate, and the rest of them. Power BI can also connect to big data and NoSQL sources like the Azure HC Insights, Apache Spark, and the rest of them. Then Power BI also gives users liberty to access data and retrieve data from web and web APIs in JSON and XML formats. Now we have explored different data sources Power BI can connect to. we're going to look into the different connectivity we have. Power BI provides several options to connect the data sources, and they include direct query. Direct query actually enables users to connect directly to the data source and also retrieve data directly from the data source. The import mode, which is the second method on my list, allows Power BI to connect to a data source and bring it into the Power BI space. So what basically happens is that it takes a snapshot of that data from the source whenever it is being connected to. The third on my list is the live connection. And live connection is more like the direct query, but this time around it's limited to some particular data sources like Power BI datasets. Then moving on to the next, we have hybrid connection. So you can connect both to the data source directly as well as import your data source. So it depends on where your data is being stored. And finally, we have custom connectors. Custom connectors is a type of connector that you can develop. Let's say, for example, Power BI cannot connect to your data source or is not among the list of options of data sources listed, which I find it hard to believe. You can create your own custom connector to specially connect to your data sources. Now we know how Power BI can connect to different data sources, the mode of operation. We'll move into Power BI components. And what's a Power BI components? They are like enabling environments which segments of the Power BI architecture can function. So we listed some Power BI architecture earlier. So these are like enabling environments for this architecture to function properly. And I'm going to take them in no chronological order. First is the Power Query. Power Query is the component of Power BI that allows users to connect to the data source as well as retrieve this data source and do some transformation on it. So it helps to connect, retrieve, and transform data from the source. Then the second is our Power Pivot. Power Pivot is the modeling part of the Power BI environment or universe. So this is where we create relationships and models and that can enable us write functions in DAX to bring out metrics and KPIs. The third is the Power View. Power View is the component of Power BI that allows you to create visualizations. Then we move ahead to Power BI Map. This is the feature or component of Power BI that enables you work with geospatial data and build beautiful map visuals. And the last on my list is Power BI Q&A. So this component allows you to query the data using natural language, just like your English language. You can ask questions about your data and you get responses, right? Now we have an idea of the component of Power BI. We will finally explore different artificial intelligence feature in Power BI. I stated earlier that Power BI is Microsoft owned, and you can trust Microsoft to always want to involve AI in all of their products, and Power BI is not an exception. So here are some key functional of there are some key AI functionalities in Power BI. We have smart data preparation. This component allows users to automatically detect and correct data inconsistency, identify missing values, and even sometimes suggest data transformation. Isn't that cool? I think it is. Then another AI feature is the quick insights that allows users to automatically analyze data and generate useful insight without the need of manual exploration. An AI feature called natural language query and generation allows users to ask questions, make requests using English language. Be sure to get an explanation of your data whenever you query it. This is what the natural language query feature can do for you. Another feature that is AI powered is the AI visual. We have some visualizations in Power BI that incorporates machine learning algorithms to perform analysis like clustering, forecasting, sentiment analysis. We'll look into all of them as we progress in the course. Then the next AI feature I'm going to talk about is automated machine learning, and this is very applicable with Azure users. So with Azure machine learning, you can build and deploy machine learning models directly in Power BI. And the last on my list is AI powered data modeling. So what this does is that Power BI can automatically detect relationship in your data set and create hierarchies and all of that. So be sure to receive relevant suggestions on measures, dimensions, and calculated columns based on the data concepts. I'm sure you've learned a lot today. Thank you and see you in the next one.